Hi, it's Joy, and today Grogu and I are going to be watching The Mandalorian. It's Season 3, Episode 5, Chapter 21, The Pirate. Which does make me think we're going to be running into the pirates that Din, pissed off in the first episode. This show is literally everything to me. I am beyond excited. I just want to go. But before we do, a reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions to Star Wars shows on my Patreon. And let's go. Oh, pirates are back.
Hold on a second.
I did think that why wouldn't they just come back again?
He shot first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I will shoot first.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
I mean, wasn't the giant evil-looking ship overhead reason enough to get to safety? This place has come so far.
Too bad. I really thought Navarro was gonna make it.
I'm gonna forward this to Coruscant. Request permission.
Is that Zeb? What is another Zeb?
To intercede. They ignore me face to face.
I like your attitude. Good luck.
Was that Zeb?
Needed.
Because there aren't many of his people ever. There's also a planet full of them. Did I just see Zeb? I'm emotional.
Do not put any more stuff on that part of the desk. That's my work area.
I don't think that this is an isolated episode. Navarro has reported accounts of storm.
Perhaps the leaders of Navarro need to understand why becoming a Republic signatory is valuable.
He is so shady. That's a very Empire way of doing it.
Captain, you're out of line.
It's fine.
He's not
Are we just not
wrong.
gonna talk?
I have sent a message to the New Republic. Help is on the way.
Send it to Din as well.
When I served within the rebellion is amongst your ranks. Thanks, R5.
The little traitor.
Karga's your friend. You won't let him die.
What's in it for you?
I love how much he knows about
The
them.
New Republic has to know something doesn't smell right.
Mention to him that Moff Gideon did not, that it's common knowledge, or that the rumors are spreading that Moff Gideon didn't make it to trial, that something else happened.
He's right. I gotta help the guy.
You can't do it alone.
You don't know Grief Karga.
There he
Those that
is.
do fought against him when you rescued me from
I
his
was missing
ambush
Grogu, I can't
cycles
lie.
ago on the streets of I'm in no position to ask for any more of you.
I do actually have the dark saber, so do what I say. Only joking.
And has offered me a tract of land on his independent world. Perhaps it is time for us to live in the light once again,
Whoa.
on a planet where we are welcome and our children can feel what it is to play in the sunlight.
I like the sound of that.
I saw many die to save the life of this one tiny foundling.
It's okay. But there is something in it for you, a whole future.
The question we should be asking ourselves is,
So you don't have to hide in little caves on worlds full of creatures that want to eat your children.
because we are Mandalorians.
Okay.
I have had my disagreements with this man, but he risked his life to
This
save
guy is so frustrating.
and Bo-Katan to take up arms in the name of a brighter future.
Mm-hmm.
And I, for one, will take up arms.
Okay,
to fight
thank
by their
you.
side.
I had my doubts about you.
This is the way.
Yay. They deserve a home.
Fighter capabilities.
I can't wait to watch The
Plan one will
Mandalorian's
distract the
Oh,
Corsair and her snub fighters.
can't
as we
wait to
drop
watch The
them to
Mandalorian's
liberate the planet
Mandalorian, but
below.
I'm happy to watch the traveling.
Navarro is an that makes it appealing for you to settle.
Mm-hmm.
You lived there once, hiding in the
Funny, she still says for you to settle it. She's
Now,
not fully sure that she's on
You
board.
can be heroes.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Thanks for your help, Mando.
I decided to take you up on your offer for a tract of land. The Corsair's on me. Coast is clear.
I knew it.
Approaching drop point.
We're gonna fight for this place and it's gonna be our home. Everybody come and look.
You're clear to start your run.
Ooh, teamwork makes the dream work.
Captain, get away this time. Regroup with the Corsair.
Oh, look at that! He got away. Exactly. The mean pirates are over there.
We're boxed in.
You can fly. You do have jetpacks, right? Come on. You have underestimated this enemy, pirate bitches. Fuck.
He's above you!
Did you forget about me?
He's below you!
He's behind you. He's in front of you. I was wondering where she was. Idiot. Time to surrender, pirate. Gotcha.
There's only one snub fighter left, Captain.
Been a pleasure serving you, Captain. But it's time to part ways.
Hey, you coward!
Sir, we're down to our last engine.
Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty.
We have
Is he gonna try and just destroy the city?
He's targeting the townspeople.
We've got to take them down. Focus fire on their last engine.
Mm-hmm. And their weapon systems. Idiot. Pirates, you lose.
Hereby cede all land from the western lava flats to Bullock Canyon to the fine people of Mandalore.
I
They
like
no
this so
longer
much.
have a home planet.
You have a
But you do
home.
now have a home.
Oh.
Remove your helmet.
Does she want to cast her out?
Our people have strayed from the way, and it is not enough for a few to walk it. We must walk it together.
Hmm.
Oh, Mandalorian.
Whoa. So did not you. So did she want her to take a helmet off, as in like you don't have to follow our exact path, but we can all be Mandalorians together with however we want to do it? Because yes.
Mandalore must all come together.
Yep.
You have walked both worlds. You are the one who can unite us.
It's what she's dreamt of hearing, but she also does not have the Darksaber. Does she need the Darksaber? Has the armorer taken her helmet off? Could you imagine? No. There is another way. You don't have to judge others. We can see all of your pretty faces too.
So that we may join together once again.
I love this.
It is time to retake Mandalore.
I love this. Oh no. Oh, don't die.
And Moff Gideon's body is missing. This was an extraction.
Mm-hmm.
The cabin wall. Getting close on that.
Oh. I'm just very concerned.
It's a fragment of Beskar alloy.
Are you saying that Moff Gideon was taken by Mandalorians?
Okay. Okay, so this was a good episode. Definitely probably the weakest one of the season so far, but I love the show regardless, so even weak episodes are fantastic. I'm glad that we kind of have dealt with the pirates. They're dead. That one guy may still be out there. He may at some point turn up and be like, I told you you'd never get away again, Mandalorian, because, you know, he did seem to take it personally that Din had got away from him. I'm sure we'll see him again at some point in the history of the universe. But the big bad pirate and his ship and everything, that was kind of yet another enemy we had out there in the world, we have dealt with. So I did enjoy that. It was a satisfying conclusion, because once Mando was gone, I was like, well, what's going to stop them from coming back to Navarro? And clearly it was nothing. I also love the idea of him taking up on the offer for land, but not just for him and Grogu, but for his people. and the fact that this could be a place where everyone who is a Mandalorian could be safe and could live and could have a community. And I hope that even if and when they take back Mandalore, they keep up some kind of a community on Navarro. It can be kind of like a second home for Mandalorians, because cultures thrive when they spread. Perhaps my favourite part of the episode was the armourer freeing Bo-Katan from having to keep the helmet on and accepting her nonetheless. I really want Din Djarin to take his helmet off, largely because I want to be able to see Pedro Pascal's acting, like all of his acting, but also because I just think it's so constricting to always have your helmet on. I want all of them to get to take their helmets off, and I definitely never want this little one to have to put a helmet on. But I love the fact that she kind of could see that Bo-Katan was doing everything right. She was living by their way, but it wasn't her way. And her way of saying, well, the forge on Mandalore was glorious and this forge was small, they're both forges and they both were just as good, was kind of her way of saying, like, both ways are valid. I thought that was particularly good because it's very easy, especially when you have somewhat extremist views like this little group do, to, as they have done for millennia, shut out anybody that thinks differently to you and to close your ears and to be like, we are separate, we are different. And I love the idea that it could be like, we are the same, we are Mandalorians, that is the most important thing. And if we all come together and acknowledge our differences and acknowledge our similarities, that is how Mandalore can be saved, and that is how we can salvage everything. I think it's going to be a tricky path to walk, but I'm very, very hopeful, and it made me very happy to see. There was a tiny moment where we saw the armor from the back, and it was like, I think it was the fur of her outfit, but I thought it was like brown hair, and I was like, did she take her helmet off? She didn't. I just think this little one would love to see his dad's face more often, okay? But that was huge. That moment of sort of keeping that distinction for Bo-Katan. And I think it's also going to be huge to Bo-Katan that she has a purpose, a destiny. She can save her people. She can help them. That thing that she thought she'd lost, she still has. Now, obviously, there is a thing where she's the one that can unite the people, but she doesn't have the Darksaber. I do think it's quite interesting that as of right now, there has not been any development really on Din having it. You know, he hasn't used it in a while. He hasn't brought it out in front of the other Mandalorians. I do wonder what will happen next with regards to that. But either way, I'm just really excited for the developments with where the Mandalorians are going. Both them having a home. Them also having a home makes me feel much better about the fact that Din's ship is tiny. But them having a home, but also the idea that Mandalorians from every walk of Mandalorian life can come together and be one makes me so happy. It is sad to see Navarro be destroyed again, but they've rebuilt before, they can rebuild again, and they have protectors now. The New Republic is just as ineffectual as ever, but I mean, their task of rebuilding from the rubble of the Empire is something that works. It's a monumental task. It is huge. And just because they're the good guys doesn't mean they're perfect. And you definitely see that with how they're kind of ineffectual at dealing with the Outer Rim. The idea of, oh, why don't we just leave them to starve? Or like make them suffer on the Outer Rim and they'll realise they should accept us. You know, if you're truly the good guys, you'd want to help anybody who needed it. And yes, you should be looking at every single request that comes in and sending urgent help. But if one of those requests is, hey, you know, we'd like to build a plaza, could you send some stone? And the other request is pirates are attacking. Maybe one of those is slightly more important. I did think it was interesting the level of power and respect thingamajig the girl has got. The woman who worked with Moff Gideon, she is shady as hell. We knew that from her interactions with the scientist, but I thought it was very telling the way when she said that thing about, well, maybe we should make them suffer and then they'll let them suffer and then they'll realize their mistake in not joining us. And that was entirely the Empire's way of doing things. That is not how we're supposed to do things in the New Republic. That is not the better way of doing things. And when the guy called her out on it, she was able to be like, oh, it's okay. I hear things like that all the time. Now that is valid if you choose to eat something for lunch and someone says, oh, they serve that on Empire ship, Empire bitch. That is when you can be all like, don't judge people. But when they're like, we should do a policy that the Empire used to do, that is when you should be judging these people who have left the Empire. Some of them will be good, and I love the concept of the amnesty, but she is an example of the dangers and how these people also need to be monitored. It's kind of a two-way street. Oh, the Empire is in for some, I mean, the Empire is coming back for us. Obviously, by the time of the sequels, it's like the New Order or whatever, and I suppose are we kind of seeing the inevitability of that rising up, just like there was the inevitability of the rebellion rising up as well. But it will be crushed. All will be well. It has to be. Didn't see enough Grogu in this episode, but I'll take it. It's fine. Didn't see enough Din in this episode either. Like, the stars of the show were severely lacking. But I loved seeing the Mandalorians, their different tactics, the way they fight together, the way they truly do work as a unit. It shows you just how formidable they are and that their legacy is deserved. Now, the very interesting thing at the end of the episode was that Mandalorians apparently captured Moff Gideon. Now, that could be because he is responsible for the atrocities on Mandalore and that they wanted to hold him to account rather than the New Republic. Maybe it's another group of Mandalorians who wanted to be the ones to put him on trial or execute him or whatever. Maybe there are some rogue Mandalorians. I mean, there were Mandalorians who worked with the Empire, so maybe some of them are still loyal to him. Who knows, you know? Mandalorians are not all good and all bad because, just like anybody else, they're a mixture of everything. It could be anyone, and it does also mean that Bo-Katan going off and trying to find people, she could find the wrong people with that. What I desperately hope is the New Republic aren't going to be like, oh, it's these Mandalorians that we know where they are, because do you know how vast how many survivors of Mandalore there are? Have you got a number of every single one of them? But it definitely feels like there could be some stress and tensions of people going against Mandalorians. Also, if there are Mandalorians working with Gideon, if they turn up to the new homeworld and they're like, oh, we're lovely Mandalorians, we just want to be at home here, they could be doing his shady business. It's definitely a stressful development. I adore this show. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.